Marcel was a French serial killer known as Dr. Satan. He lured poor Jewish families to their death by offering them an escape route out of a Nazi-occupied France. Then he killed them, robbing them for their belongings during World War II. Before the remains of 23 bodies were found in his home in Paris, he was suspected of killing around 60 people. He fought in the war, got his medical degree, and established a practice in town where he became a popular figure. He was elected mayor in 1926. Manson was a cult leader who incited the murders of actress Sharon Tate and 4 others. This was on August 9, 1969 in Los Angeles. Before that, Manson was a budding cult leader, a pimp, and a singer and songwriter. Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys picked up 2 young women hitchhiking who turned out to be followers of Manson. They formed a friendly friendship with Manson, who was always dreaming of stardom. The band recorded the song Never Learn Not to Love, which was originally titled Cease to Exist.
Songs on, didn't they?
I think recorded more than one.
Which ones did they record then?
I don't remember. I can't remember that. That's
Remember Cease to Exist?
Cease to exist. Can't say you love me. Give up your world. Come on and be with me. I'm your kind, and I see. Come on, you're a great girl.
Ted Bundy assaulted and murdered numerous young women and girls during the 1970s. In 1971, Bundy was volunteering at a suicide prevention crisis center, and he met a former police officer turned crime reporter by the name of Ann Rule. Rule's schedule, by coincidence, meant spending more time with Bundy than any other crisis center volunteers. I liked him immediately, Rule wrote, and I can remember thinking that if I were younger and single, or if my daughters were older, this would be almost the perfect man. Rule was commissioned in 1974 to write her first book on the unsolved murders of young women in Washington. The killer would end up being her friend Ted Bundy. The book, The Stranger Beside Me, would go on to sell 2 million copies. John Gacy sexually assaulted, tortured, and murdered at least 33 teenage boys and young men between 1972 and 1978 in Illinois. When he wasn't painting terrifying clowns or murdering people, surprisingly, the killer clown was thought of as a loyal member of the community, and he often worked hard on several fundraising projects. He even served on the board of directors for the Waterloo Jaycees and was named as the 3rd most outstanding Jaycee within the state of Illinois. Gacy served as a local precinct captain in the local Democratic Party. During that time, he met former First Lady Rosalynn Carter. A sick man, he found joy in toying with his victims and strangling them until they lost consciousness, then waiting until they woke up and strangled them again, sometimes repeating this process several times before finally killing them. He compiled a collection of more than 1,000 photographs of women and teenage boys in many sexually explicit poses before he was convicted of serial killing. Rodney was first a winner of a Bachelor game called The Dating Game. Rodney was known as the Dating Game Killer because, you guessed it, he won an episode of The Dating Game.
Will that date be Bachelor number 1, Bachelor number 2, or Bachelor number 3? Who gets the dates?
Well, I like bananas, so I'll take 1.
Number 1, Bachelor number 1, all right. He's a skydiver, so he's got a lot of nerve. He's into motorcycling. He's also a fine photographer. Say hello to Rodney Alcala. Rodney, come on and say hello. Congratulations,
game.